what to do if the removable denture on the lower jaw does not hold. Watch to the end and find out how to fix a removable denture on the lower jaw. A very common and widespread question or problem is when the removable denture on the lower jaw doesn't stay in place. In fact, there is a huge amount of literature on dentures for the lower jaw, as this is a significant problem. Many authors describe the issue of securing the lower removable denture. So come to our clinic. Our subscribers also often ask this question: what to do when the removable denture on the lower jaw doesn't stay in place? So in trying to answer this question, let's talk about removable dentures for the upper and lower jaws. On the upper jaw, the upper denture is held in place by what is known as a one-way valve or the suction effect. That is the design of the removable denture. On the upper jaw itself is in the form of a dome. So when we put on the removable denture, we make what is called a swallow. The patient swallows saliva and the denture simply sticks in place. Why is the removable denture on the upper jaw also called a suction cup or suction cups? Because a negative pressure is created, and the denture, if by the way it's formed well, then this puddle doesn't, right? Of course, the process is instantly absorbed and most often lasts without any additional creams or anything. Fixing gels. So there are no problems with the removable upper denture here. However, at the same time, the volume of the removable upper denture is quite large. Compared to the removable lower denture, the upper denture stays in place due to suction. There are usually no problems with securing it, despite its size. Let's solidify this understanding. That is, there are usually no problems with fixation, despite the fact that it is quite large and bulky. Yes, as soon as we move down to the lower jaw, the denture on the lower jaw looks very neat compared to the upper denture. It's shaped like a horseshoe, right? It fits right onto our gums. The alveolar ridge, so to speak, yes, where our teeth should be, but there are no teeth. So it sits right on this ridge, and let's say we can call it that. It secures our lower removable denture in this way. So that's the fixation of the lower denture. If this alveolar ridge is poorly formed due to a long absence of teeth and atrophy. And sometimes it's almost like this, meaning it's practically horizontal accordingly, the removable denture. It just lies there. Or sometimes it is formed inadequately, meaning that the bone has receded so much that it creates, let's say, an underdeveloped ridge. Accordingly, there will practically be no fixation with such a ridge. So we answer this question. This pain of patients who often ask this question. Very often people come in asking what to do, which cream to recommend, how to avoid this, please adjust it. I'll answer you right away. There's no way. It's very important. Just accept it. Don't torture the doctor and don't torture yourself. If the alveolar ridge is not formed, if it is atrophied, then the fixation of the removable lower denture or the fixation of the removable denture on the lower jaw is practically non-existent. That's why we, by the way, and many doctors, if there are any natural teeth on the lower jaw, we hold on to them. Most often, we even sometimes talk about one tooth. We hold on to such teeth. It's like holding on to a straw, because every tooth on the lower jaw with removable prosthetics, with a removable prosthesis, is just superfluous. So let's say it's an extra foundation that the removable denture will rely on. So as soon as there are no teeth at all, in the case of complete tooth loss or complete edentulism, the fixation of the lower denture becomes a huge problem. It won't hold, so you need to be prepared for that. And that's the most important thing to understand. I'm saying it again. Don't torture the doctors. Don't torture yourself. Fixation won't help. It's not a denture, nothing under this prosthesis on the lower jaw. Most of the time, as I say, it stays in place. Due to gravity, it stays where it was placed. It will hang around, get in the way. That is, it will be practically impossible to wish for them. God forbid, as I say, to sneeze with such a prosthesis. It just flies out and then the patient has to search for it, like Nikita. There are some funny cases that happen at anniversaries or weddings when it really does. I myself was part of such a situation when, during a big feast, one of the guests sneezed, and there it was in the tall grass. The whole celebration came to a halt, and all the guests, of course, were laughing, having fun, and excited, but they were searching. The removable denture, let's say, of our guest. So, I emphasize, the fixation of a removable denture on the lower jaw is practically zero. This is if the alveolar ridge is not formed, that's it. If it is, by the way, formed, you can still manage with fixing creams, and the prosthesis holds on more or less. But for the most part, this alveolar ridge unfortunately goes away. By the way, it even moves away from the removable prosthesis itself. A removable denture also leads to atrophy due to this constant pressure, and our bone unfortunately goes away because there is no load on it. So, what to do in such cases? There are only a few options. Well, let's say, of course, this is, implantation. It's just implantation. Maybe sometimes we do this in our clinic. So we place at least two implants for fixation, and we make a removable prosthesis that is similar, but it will have at least two so-called ball supports on which the removable prosthesis will simply be fixed. And having those two ball supports for fixation already helps, even in cases of complete atrophy of the ridge, let's say. Yes, these ball supports help with fixation. They just snap in and the patient can walk around comfortably with it. That's usually enough. Yes, it's a removable prosthesis, but at least there's some fixation. And the next option, of course, is the technology of either all-on-4 or all-on-6. Here, the prosthesis is non-removable. Thank God, yes, the prosthesis, as it is fixed, has much stronger fixation and it doesn't come off. This process is already non-removable. So there are two options: either a removable prosthesis with button-type fixators, or a structure with all-on-4 or all-on-6. Well, or you can save every tooth you have on your lower jaw. If you absolutely don't plan to, or really don't want to get dental implants at all, or are extremely terrified of them, God forbid, then you should definitely keep all of the teeth on your lower jaw that you currently possess intact, even those ones which seem hopelessly beyond repair to you personally. Preserve and treat each one so they can serve as extra support for your removable lower jaw prosthesis. I hope I was able to tell you, to explain what it is, because I emphasize again, a huge problem, a huge number of requests with a lower prosthesis. Therefore, I would simply like to tell you, to set you in a certain mood so that you're not actually deceived and do not expect some miracles from fixation of the lower removable prosthesis. Write in the comments which method or approach you would choose. If you want to get our consultation, then write to us via the link below on WhatsApp, or visit our website and leave a request. Subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and take care of yourself.